champion. I have to say the community is probably my favorite part of the game. We're all really close with each other. I made some really good friends playing the game. The game itself is a lot of fun, but the community is just, it's awesome. I have a lot of friends that I'll hang out with at these events, some from all over the world, where the only chance to see them is at the World Championship each year. And there are also some friends that, you know, live kind of close to me that we'll hang out with on a more regular basis. So the community of Pokemon is just really awesome that way. It is kind of different. At the events, a lot of people notice me, will ask for pictures, autographs, that kind of stuff. But you know, if I'm just walking the streets back in New Jersey, nobody's going to recognize me, so it's totally different. And it's pretty cool though. My family's been really supportive of me the whole time. Back in 2010, my first year going to the World Championship, and they helped support me. They funded part of my trip, so thank you, Mom and Dad. My favorite Pokemon has to be Snorlax. I think he's real cute, and he's pretty powerful. I feel pretty good today. I'm feeling confident, but it's going to be a tough tournament, so we'll see how it goes.
Inspiring words from our retiring champion. Not on the stage this time, but he'll probably be back next year. Great to hear from Ray. Let's take a look at the present, though. Let's take a look at the brackets to see how Arash and Ryosuke got to this point. Of course, you can see Ryosuke, we saw yesterday, played both Seijun Park from Korea and Aaron Zhang of the United States in some amazing matches yesterday. Arash went up against Matthias of Germany and then Benjamin of the Great Britain to make it to the finals. Truly international top 8 here and a really great set of matches for all of them, I'm sure. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this battle started. Let's go to Nick McCord down on the stage.
Thanks so much, guys. Great to see you again. Now, we have seen some fierce competition throughout this entire tournament, but we have two veritable titans of Pokemon sizing each other up right now. We want that World Championship more than anything. So, without further ado, our first competitor from Japan, Ryosuke Kosuge! Across that table, representing the nation of Italy, Arash Ommati! Anything can happen. Who will be our world champion? Trainers, you may begin.
Make some noise! Let's go!
Man, there is nothing I like more than seeing both of these trainers decked out in their flags. It's one of the best things about the Pokemon World Championships here. As we can see on the screen, we are right underway with the battle. You can see Ryosuke's team on the top of the screen here. That's going to be Tyranitar, Heatran, Landorus, Therian form, Cresselia, and Thundurus, Carnate form, and Conkeldurr. Arash is using Mamoswine, Conkeldurr, Heatran, Latios, Tornadus, and Amoonguss. Really excited to see what both of these trainers have in store. We've already seen Ryosuke make some incredible comebacks after losing game 1 in both of his series, and I'm really hoping we get another game 3 here.
I am too. It's interesting to me to see that the two Pokemon that are coming, Conkeldurr and Heatran, it seems like they won really popular choices in Worlds this year. Which is interesting. Heatran kind of stole the show last year on Wolf Flick's team, but Conkeldurr made it not have existed last year. It was so uncommon. The rules have changed a little bit, and Conkeldurr's been given a bit of a boost by getting the Iron Fist ability, but still, it's surprising to see a Pokemon go from basically non-existent to one of the most important Pokemon in the metagame. So, Conkeldurr are likely to have a decent series here just because both players have some Pokemon that are weak to it. Arash has some that are very strong against it as well, such as Amoonguss. But I imagine Conkeldurr will be big here. Another Pokemon I think will be interesting is Mamoswine because it's really good against a few of Ryosuke's Pokemon. So we take a look and see if he can get his hits in if he chooses to bring Mamoswine, but if he does, it can do some real damage.
Yeah, definitely Mamoswine is one of those Pokemon that you can see occasionally, especially back when the metagame was more oriented toward the DDs and Dragons. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. As you see at the bottom of your screen is Arash from Italy using that Mamoswine and that Tornadus, both two Pokemon that we very rarely see. Up against Ryosuke with the Conkeldurr and the Thundurus. Both of these trainers competing on the world's stage, on the finals, to take home the crown for this plays out. How does it look from your stage?
I think it's a really exciting first turn. You've got Thunderous against Tornadus, so that's Thunderous advantage, but Tornadus has a King Kelder there, so that's its advantage. We've got Kelder who likes to beat up on ice types like Mamoswine, but Mamoswine can target Thunderous, so a lot of things that happen here should be fun.
And there is the safer play, just going for the Thunder Wave onto Tornadus, getting that paralysis, which we've seen so much of this tournament, and especially yesterday from Ryosuke. The Mach Punch comes out from that King Kelder, doesn't want to let Mamoswine give up too much damage without taking any in return. Is going to deal about a third, only a third left, or a quarter left there. Not a lot of hit points left for Mamoswine, but it is going to be able to get the Icicle Crash off onto that Thunderous Incarnate. Is going to deal a lot of damage thanks to the ice typing there. It is Mamoswine, and it is ready to battle. Does get there's a Tornadus, gets the attack with the acrobatics with the flying gem onto Kelder. That fighting type is not going to want to take that, and Tornadus doesn't care about the process. It's going to go ahead and get the one-hit KO. Very first turn of this game.
The good next for better start. That's two huge threats. We'll see Thunderous spreading that swagger this time. It's not over though. Last year, the first game of the match, there was similar to a double knockout in the first turn, and the player who got that knockout ended up losing the game. So he's got to stay focused here.
Comes the Heatran and the Cresselia, two Pokemon that are more than capable of setting up for that.
Vaya primer tour, vaya reventada.
Protect, gotta protect. Fully capable of taking out that Heatran. But again, Heatran, the fire type, more than capable of taking out the ice type after Mamoswine.
Mamoswine's holding a choice card, so it's like it's going to choose to come back and fight another day here. Ice physical crash, not likely to do a whole bunch of Cresselia and almost nothing to Heatran. So I assume it's going to try to come back later, try to get that quick damage. So we love what kind of switches Arash has to avoid taking too much damage.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting again to see if Ryosuke goes for that trick room that we've seen. Even though that Tornadus is paralyzed and will be able to, under speed, getting the Heatran into a good position against that choice card from Mamoswine.
Yeah, I think at some point he's going to need to do it. He's going to have to find the opportunity where it's safest to do so.
And it looks like the Heatran is going to go for the Protect. And the Mamoswine is not switching out, going to stay in to get that Icicle Crash off onto the Cresselia. To that Cresselia, possibly before it can get a Trick Room off. Only does about a third there. It's going to be super effective against that Cresselia and send Tornadus back to Arash's hand to send out a new Pokemon instead. Cresselia going to heal off a little bit of that damage, but still, very funky Pokemon. It's going to have a couple turns left in it. Tornadus goes back to Arash, and we'll see if what Arash will bring out to counter this Heatran and Cresselia in the back. And of course, Cresselia still has yet to move. With that paralyzed Tornadus, that likely signals a Trick Room.
Likely, although Icicle Crash does have a chance to play, so Cresselia may not be able to get it off.
Yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see what Arash brings. He expects a Trick Room here. Likely to see a Thunder if he brought it. Or possibly even the Lucas, just for the support threat, even though both the Cresselia and the Heatran are super effective against it. But it is going to be the Kelder. It is going to want to keep the offensive threat up, not going to give anything away. And the Trick Room does go off from Ryosuke, and that's going to be trouble for Heatran now, just because Kelder's out on the field.
I think part of why King Kelder's been so good at Worlds this year, with all these Heatrans, King Kelder's here to beat it. A lot of the Heatrans are slower variants that are meant to work in short term. Even the slowest Heatran isn't nearly as slow as King Kelder. And Mamoswine, very fast, especially with the choice card.
And no protects coming out because that was used last turn. The Drain Punch from Kelder goes right on the offensive. Doesn't quite get the KO, but still deals a lot of damage. Make sure that the Heatran can't use its Eruption, its most powerful attack. Instead, it's used the Fire Gem, used the Heat Wave, which is going to get the easy KO onto Mamoswine to deal a little bit of damage like Kelder, a lot bit of damage, about half there, and give Cresselia a chance to deal some damage back also. Of course, since Kelder went first, the Drain Punch not able to help heal there. We'll have to see if the Psychic is going to be enough to get the KO on Kelder, and it looks like yes! saw the region, especially the 2011 metagame, but also making a resurgence in these later stages of 2013. And of course, that paralyzed Tornadus is going to like that paralysis now because, he feels much safer.
Yeah, Focus is definitely the best Pokemon he could have had remaining. Tornadus' paralysis could still make things interesting here because if it's fully paralyzed and the turn where Heatran gets the move, they can find a losing it just once anyway. Since it's slower now because of the paralysis, they can use a move like Acrobatics or Superpower and really weaken or knock out another target here. And Focus will be the slowest Pokemon in turn against the
Yeah, and Heatran doesn't want to risk giving the free KO, does protect. Onto the Cresselia is going to put that Cresselia to sleep and make sure that there is at least one turn where Cresselia can't move. We talked about this in the pregame yesterday, but playing around sleep has been very important. Tornado shows the superpower, making sure that Heatran knows that it is not safe at all. And of course, Cresselia taking a nice little nap. No bad dreams here.
really careful position for Ryosuke here. He's got to find a way to get Heatran an attack off against this Tornadus, probably two. But in the meantime, Focus is getting sleep and almost certainly players score in that slot, so he's probably going to have to keep protecting. But it doesn't Tornadus is going to get some free damage.
Yeah, as you see, Ryosuke has to go for that protect. Does get the protect off again. The score is going to be into the protect, trying to buy.
Buena, buena.
Is making a good adjustment there. The acrobatics to deal as much damage to that sleeping Cresselia. Stay asleep for at least one more turn, and it looks still like a good position.
Rush is looking really good.
No, ahora te que tira super power. Ahora te que tira super power y espora.
Another protect.
Porque con sacar el trick room,
Heatran will get put to sleep here.
te he jodido.
Two good things are going to happen with this turn unless he gets really unlucky.
Yeah, and we've actually seen this a couple of times now. Ryosuke has to worry about stalling out his own trick room.
Yeah, but that's one of the dangers of using it when you're at this point in the tournament. Now, everyone's either using Trick Room themselves or they have a great solution to Trick Room, and in Arash's case, it's a great solution.
Yeah, and it looks like Heatran is not going to be able to get the protect. Does not try for it this time. Does go to sleep, and Tornadus does get the acrobatics off, and that is going to deal damage to that Cresselia, and it is going to be Arash takes a 2-1 lead now. Just that Heatran on the side that's losing Heatran fast asleep for Ryosuke to take it back.
Another commanding lead for Arash here.
No falla espora, no falla espora. No falla rage power.
Heatran will be faster, but
No
also
falla
brings up
espora, ¿sí o no? Espora.
Yeah, and a great move to not go for the triple protect so that he can at least blow that first turn of guaranteed sleep there. Good try for He wouldn't have had this moment where the Heatran wakes up, gets the heat wave off, is going to damage both the Tornadus and the Amogus. Not likely to get the KO on both of them, but with that paralysis, it's much, much more precarious. And yes, the paralysis Tornadus is fully paralyzing. Won't be able to go this turn, but
If he did anything other than score there, he would have given Ryosuke a chance to win the game, but he's much less likely to win now. We need another turn wake up and two full
Ya voy a
games.
dar primer.
Either one turn wake up
Espérate.
combination of one more of each.
Si de arriba al
Much more likely to come out on top now. Great move by him to get the score there.
Li fa durare la truita che
To get one more attack off.
yeah, it's definitely going to come down to the wire. Heatran has that one turn of guaranteed sleep. Can only wake up on the next turn. It's going to be a KO on Heatran, and Arash Ommati from Italy takes the first game of this best of 3 set. With the critical hit gravy on top.
Still don't know what he means. It's a big win though. Like we mentioned before, it's really important to win that first game. It didn't look like it yesterday.
No, sta acabando la partita.
Losing his first game in both of his best of threes and still coming out on top.
Sì.
Best of threes today.
Teso su opportunità, insomma una parola.
It's important to win that game. The Rush is in a great position now.
Yeah, it's definitely, as we talked about over and over, the momentum is the most important part there. Arash has the momentum going into this game too, but you're right. Ryosuke has come back every time. He's gone down in game 1 against both Seizen Park and against Aaron Zhang, and he's managed to pull it out. I don't know how he does it, but he does. He managed to keep his cool and maintain his composure and pull out a win.
And one way he did go about making those comebacks was in both of those game 2s. He led with Landorus and Thundurus. He's going to have a harder time pulling that off this time because Mamoswine isn't going to be having any of it. It's a really original Pokemon choice, I guess. It's not very popular in at least world's level play. But one of the things it does really well is beat the genies, and that's one thing that's been carrying Ryosuke so far. Those genies have been a huge part of all of his victories, so that could really help Arash try and seal this world championship and be the first champion from Italy and all of Europe.
Yeah, we have seen the Thunderous and the Landorus be sort of Ryosuke's comfort picks. He's gone to those leagues every tournament or when he just thinks that he feels the most comfortable playing those. But we're going to go ahead and take a look back at these teams again. Ryosuke will be on the top of your team. The last hope for Japan to win this. He needs to win this game and the next game to take home the title for Japan. His team is Tyranitar, Heatran, Landorus, Cresselia, Thunderous, and Conkeldurr. And Arash will be on the bottom of your screen playing for the nation of Italy and the first Italian World Championships and the first all of Europe. He's playing with a Mammothswine, Conkeldurr, Heatran, Latios, Tornadus, and the Amoonguss. And both these players know exactly what they want to do. We're going right into the game. Ryosuke Kosuge is on the top of your screen, playing for Japan. On the bottom of your screen is Arash Ommati from Italy. Let's get into this battle. I am so excited to see this.
I think that's a different flavor here. I think it's a big team that could really mess with your opponent's comfort zone. It's really tough to win if you just can't just fall back and what your team does best or what you're most comfortable with. I think that's a really important way to set someone off guard. The things that's helped Ryosuke in this tournament is that he's used his team much more than most of his opponents in these pairs. He's really comfortable with certain things. His team knows exactly how to play them. So forcing him out of that game is an important part of being able to beat it.
Yeah, and we see exactly that with the Tornadus and Mammothswine coming out. Bringing that Mammothswine going to be able to force Ryosuke off this game. The Heatran and Cresselia new leads that we've seen from it now.
It's likely he's going to try to get that. So he's going to have to try to find a way to protect him a little bit this time. Make sure that by setting trigger, he's helping himself and not his opponent. Fine.
Heatran doesn't go for the protected. Mammothswine gets the Earthquake off immediately. Is going to hit that 4 times weak double super effective attack on that Heatran. The Earthquake is going to hit. It's going to go all the way down, and that's going to be an easy. Threats on Ryosuke's team goes down turn 1. And Tornadus is going to get the U-turn off on Cresselia as well, giving Arash the chance to decide what he wants to do. Going out and maintain that all-important momentum.
Incredibly important knockout. Not only does he get the knockout, but he gets a free switch here too. So he gets basically any situation he thinks is likely to come at him. It's really daring for Ryosuke to have chosen to leave Heatran in there. It's not necessarily a bad play, though it didn't work out this time. That Arash would anticipate Heatran protecting and double targeting Cresselia instead, but that's not what he got. Daring plays like that.
Yeah, and we also see the Trick Room as the Amoonguss comes out. That mushroom has been the bane of many players' existence, and it looks like it will be Ryosuke's bane.
La faccia bella giocata qui.
We've talked a lot about being down. You usually have to play conservatively. Ryosuke decided not to go conservative, did the aggressive play, and Arash had an equally aggressive play right to counter that. Amazing set for Arash there, that first turn.
I think that's exactly why people normally play more conservatively with it behind, because if you do take a risk like that and it doesn't work out, it could be your tournament, and he's in a really tough spot. Now, this game is far from over, especially with Mammothswine like an Earthquake. But he's out in a trick room now.
La cerimonia alla
Really
tavola.
tough spot for Ryosuke.
Yeah, Ryosuke's going to have to really manage his sleep well here. That's probably the most frustrating thing against him, because you always get at least one guaranteed turn, no action, and possibly a couple of extra ones. You see Mammothswine is going to switch back because he is locked into that Earthquake. Tornadus comes back out. Not too worried about the Earthquake, it seems. Is back out, feels fresh from his debut in Star Studios. We do get the helping hand coming out from Cresselia onto Conkeldurr, going to boost the power of Conkeldurr's attack, but it will be able to get an attack off. Amoonguss goes for Conkeldurr not going to be able to use that boost and get an attack off this turn.
Now, Ryosuke's probably just hoping for a mistake there. That's the right play to use for Conkeldurr there, but he had chosen to support Cresselia instead. The boosted Ice Punch would have either knocked out Amoonguss or been very close. So he's just hoping to get a chance to come back into the game here. But that's what happens when you fall behind. You have to hope your opponent gives you some space. And Arash is smart. He's not giving him anything.
Yeah, definitely not. Now he has to look for another quick long-turn wake-up here. Conkeldurr did use his first guaranteed sleep that turn. And now Cresselia getting scored, going fast to sleep. Ryosuke is too tired from this long weekend of Pokemon battling. Keller takes another turn of sleep. Cresselia takes its turn of sleep. And now Tornadus gets to use it. Flying Gym Acrobatics. Going to be an easy one-shot onto that Kelder. And things are going real south, real fast for Ryosuke.
Oh, he's in a really tough spot now. He's got a sleeping support Pokemon now. He's down 2 for 0 damage. And Lucas is still out in Trick Room, so whatever comes in is going to have to deal with Spore.
It's going to have to deal with both Spore and Tornadus still being able to bring hot shots on Cresselia.
Pero no allá.
And it looks like Ryosuke's last hope for the rest on this Landorus Therian form. Intimidate, though, going to lower the attack of the Amogus. Lower the attack of that Tornadus. But
Not likely to have too much success with holding that attack. Tornadus is actually good now as Defiant.
yeah, Tornadus Defiant giving it an attack boost, completely negating that Intimidate from the Landorus and making it just even scarier.
Yeah, like King Kelder, Tornadus is another Pokemon that was basically irrelevant last year. One thing that made it better is it is Defiant, which gives it 2 levels of attack every time its stats are dropped. So it counters Intimidate really well. And Intimidate's a big part of the metagame. A lot of the matches yesterday were coming down to keeping Landorus alive, and Tornadus isn't really countered by that.
Yeah, Landorus going for the Protect, trying to make sure that it can survive the spores from Amogus and hope that Cresselia can wake up and do some damage, but it's not going to happen. Cresselia is still fast asleep. Tornadus goes for the U-turn with the extra boost onto the Cresselia, going to deal even more damage now. Look at how much damage that
Ya
does.
estábamos,
With that
why not,
Defiant boost.
Bowsy?
Over half of Cresselia is not something you normally see. It will be able to recover some of that damage off with the Citrus, get it back up to above 50, but still very precarious. Cresselia should be waking up next turn, though.
Yeah, Cresselia has been out for a long time here, but I mean, that's the game you pose with sleep. Sometimes you get short sleeps like that last game, and sometimes you get the long ones. He was able to get through the game when the sleep wasn't really working his way, and now, he's got a big advantage because it is working his way in the second game. It's making it even harder to come back from this deficit.
And now he gets a free switch. Arash gets a free switch to Mammoth Slime, which is going to just make that Landorus wait, shiver.
It was the option of stalling out that Trick Room too. Normally, Lucas out there, like, okay, I'm just going to stall a Trick Room and I'll be okay. But that was one of the fastest Pokemon on the field that's threatening to knock out Landorus here, so suddenly things aren't so safe anymore.
And the Spore is connecting with that Landorus. You can see it sleeping. Cresselia does manage to wake up. Is going to be able to get the Psychic off onto that Amogus. He's going to deal some damage, but he needed much more damage on that Amogus to be more relevant. Almost half damage there, but still able to survive at least one Psychic there. Landorus does go to sleep, but the Icicle Spear coming out from Mammoth Slime is going to break that Focus Sash and be an easy one-hit KO onto that Landorus.
Only Cresselia left. All 4 Pokemon alive on Arash's side.
Cresselia against the world. I have never seen a Cresselia come back from this big of a deficit, but it's always possible. See the Twisted Dimensions return to normal, and we are just a few short turns away from having our first Italian and our first European World Champion in Masters, unless Ryosuke can pull something miraculous off here.
Now, looks like we're going to have a really momentous moment at VGC here.
Yeah, we can see the Icicle Spear is going to connect with that Cresselia. How many times will it connect? 1, 2, couple more. 2 times. 2 times with the Icicle Spear. As the Psychic does come out on the Focus again. Make sure that Cresselia does not get a chance to deal any more damage. Does survive with 21 HP. The Spore comes out for Cresselia. And we've got just a couple more turns for Arash to whittle away that Cresselia and become the first European or Italian.
He's playing the end of this game really well, too. He's not taking any risks. He got a big advantage at the very beginning of the game and just slowly making sure he keeps that advantage. He doesn't let any Pokemon go down.
Momento histórico, campeón europeo.
And why he's about to become the world champion.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that, because Ryosuke was behind, he had to wait for his opponent to make a mistake. Make a single mistake. This entire game gets the critical hit even, and with just a couple more Icicle Spears, it's not